Thanks, Melinda. Last year, I introduced you to Dan McIntyre, a resident of Conrad who had spent tens of thousands of dollars cleaning a rental property to comply with the state's meth contamination laws. Last night, I heard from Dan, only to find out that the program he was spending all that money on has been eliminated due to budget cuts. Dan is now threatening to sue the state. Countless numbers of people will be losing their jobs, and even more completely innocent residents in Montana could be exposed to deadly levels of meth contamination without even knowing it.
I don't know what we were thinking by doing this.
That seems to be the general consensus among those impacted by cutting the meth cleanup program. Lee Yellen of Water Rights Incorporated out of Missoula is one of the DEQ's qualified contractors to clean up meth lab sites, and right now that's about 50% of his business.
I have 4 full-time employees that I'm going to have to let them know that they better start looking for work.
Yellen says during a phone call with the DEQ this week, he was told that the cut is in an effort to save about $100,000. Meanwhile, state employees in the meth cleanup department won't lose their jobs. They'll simply be transferred to the asbestos department.
And I asked her, are you kidding me? We're going to shut down this entire program for $100,000 and these people are still going to work anyway. She said, yep.
Yellen says that $100,000 savings won't even come close to the amount of unemployment the state will have to start paying for all of the jobs lost. I reached out to the DEQ. Christy Pinozzo, Public Policy Director, confirmed the amount is about $135,000, but said there's not a direct correlation between funds saved in the DEQ and funds potentially used to pay unemployment.
But the ones that are really going to be harmed, I think, are the unsuspecting people that now rent or buy a meth-contaminated property, and the real estate agent is going to be held liable, even though they're not even going to be able to collect the data to find out whether the property is listed or not.
As of today, those real estate agents, unsuspecting residents, landlords, contractors are all left with no instruction on what comes next.
So we still have a law that says you got to do this, but there's no program and there's no enforcement. So is the state then violating its own statutes?
Pinozzo tells me as a result of the cut, state laws will now literally have to be changed to fit with the now eliminated program. In the meantime, Yellen says the only thing you can do to protect yourself is to test your home for methamphetamine with a store-bought kit.
All right, now to clear up some of the misconceptions around this cut, it is not in response to the governor's recent request for a 10% spending reduction. That cut in their budget has yet to happen. By removing the meth program, Pinozzo tells me this will help the DEQ fulfill the already required cuts of 5%, which is part of a routine budgeting process. So why this program? Pinozzo says it was the only department in the DEQ that is completely funded by the state general fund, and there were no fee revenues or federal funding to help support it. If and when Dan McIntyre decides to file that class action lawsuit, we'll be your first source for the information.